Welcome back to the channel everyone. So in previous video we have seen that what is static block and what is static variable. So in today's video we will see what is static method. Okay, so let's begin. As you can see here, I have created one class which is static method and I have main method here. But here also I use two classes. So take another class here, class methods. Okay, this is the name of our class methods. Now within that I will create two methods, one is static, one is non-static. Okay, so first create non-static method which is display. Okay, and it simply prints that system.out.println. Okay, and it simply prints that it is non-static method. Okay, so now let me take another method which is static and display one here. Okay, so the name of method is display one here and the name of non-static method is display. So here also I want to display a message, so I put the same line again here and here I write this is static method. Okay, so now the question is how to call this method. So as we know, to call this method we have to create object and then using object we can call this method. So let's create the object of methods class. Methods m equals to new methods. So we created the object and we simply have to specify the object name which is m dot method name which is display. Okay, so if I run this program, as you can see it prints non-static method because we call this method. Okay, so now the question is how to call this method. So there is mainly three ways to call this method. First is the same, we can use the object to call the method. We can use object here. So if I run this program again, as you can see it works perfectly. Okay, but here you can also use, it is not necessary to use the object name because the static member does not belongs to particular object. The static member or static member can be variable or method. Okay, so static method belongs to a class, not to a particular object. So you can use here the class name also to call a method. Our class name is methods here, so we can use the class name here instead of object name to call the method. So let me run this program now. Okay, so if you specify class name then it also works. And the third way is, but third way has one restriction. What is the restriction? That if your method belongs to the same class, if your static method belongs to the same class, you do not need to specify anything before this method name. You have to just simply specify the method name to call it, but the restriction is your method must be within the class. So let me also show you that example. Let's take another method, static void display 2 here. Okay, so this is our second static method and print this message, sorry, print this message here and here say static method 2. Okay, so it belongs to the same class. Our main class is static method class because it contains the main method, right? So this method belongs to main class, so we can directly call it. Here we have to specify the name methods, but we can directly call display 2 because it belongs to the same class. Okay, as you can see it first calls this display method here which is non-static, then it calls the static method which is this method. Okay, and then it calls this second static method which is inside this static method class, and because it belongs to the same class which contains the main method, we can simply write just method name to call it. We do not need to specify any object name or class name before the method calling, but the method must be belong to the same class. If the static method belongs to another class, we have to specify the class name here. Okay, so that's how the static method works, guys. Now there is main three things you have to remember about static when you are using static keyword. So here, as you can see, the first thing is static variable is same for all the objects, and static variable shares the memory, right? Static variable is same for all the object, it is not different for all object. Okay, as in our previous video I have explained you about student example, right? So in student example, hod is the static variable. So hod is same for all the objects. We have two objects, Dhruv and Shubh, right? So hod is same for that both the objects. But if the non-static variable are there, then it is different for all the objects. Okay, so this is the second thing you have to remember. And the third thing is static block can only access static variables, right? So in our previous example in student, if you remember, I have taken one static block, and within that static block I have initialized hod variable, right, which is static. So static block can only access static variables. So this is the third thing. So these are the three things you have to remember about static keyword. Okay, so this is all about our static keyword. So from further videos I will explain you about the more concepts of OOP. So if you do like the video, hit the like button. If you have any doubts, you can ask me in the comment section below. Please subscribe to our channel and stay tuned. Thank you.